ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive.
It is Tuesday, March 24th. Your drive begins now on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Our text line this hour, it's brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop. It's open 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We've got a big one for you tonight. The Thundering Herd, Jack Cook Field, playing host to number 17, West Virginia. We go on the air at 5:50. Ben Westfall is covering the game for us, and we're going to try to bring him on in the next few minutes. But until then, we'll get your text. And again, that number, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. You can also find me on X at Paul Swann. And I've got the poll question up. We haven't done one in a while, so let's go ahead and get that started. And, of course, it's real simple. Who you got, Marshall or West Virginia? Which team are you taking in this one? And we've already got the voting off early. I kind of stealth posted it, and already everyone says Marshall. I'm sure that's going to change. But, again, you can find me on X at Paul Swann. And, of course, you can text in, and that's 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. It's a busy day at Marshall for a lot of fans watching softball right now, and then follow that up with a little baseball. The Thundering Herd taking on the Redhawks, Miami of Ohio. And top of the fifth, Marshall leads Miami 5-1. So hopefully that will continue, and we can get this off to a great start for the Thundering Herd. And speaking of great starts, the Marshall women get it done yesterday against UMBC at the Cam Henderson Center, 66-53. 21 points for Marshall's Tamaya Lewis-Utsi to lead all scorers. So the Herd now will face the winner of a game tonight between Youngstown State and Maryland Eastern Shore in the WNIT. Third round later this week. We'll find out if the Thundering Herd's going to have to travel or if the Herd will host. Usually we have Ryan Crisp or someone on from the ticket office on Wednesday, so we'll have more details on tomorrow's show. But that's good news for the Thundering Herd. The season continues for the Marshall women. Unfortunately for WVU's women and the NCAA Women's Basketball Tournament, second round action, Kentucky gets the win. This was tight. It was a back-and-forth battle, two deserving teams. Unfortunately, only one team could win, and Kentucky gets the win 74-73. So UK makes the Sweet 16 for the first time in a decade. Kentucky's going to take on Texas and the Fort Worth, Texas portion of the bracket on Saturday. And Notre Dame got the win over Ohio State 83-73. 41 points for the Buckeyes, Jelani Cambridge, in a losing effort. And, of course, the Thundering Herd getting a good performance from Tamaya Lewis-Utsi. I'm hoping that we can see a duplication of that for her. Fun to host an NIT game, right? Especially for the Thundering Herd looking to kind of push its season a little further. You can't always get into the NCAA tournament. I know that's the goal for Marshall basketball, both men's and women's. But, I feel good about where the Herd's at right now. Nice transition year, kind of reset after Kim Caldwell. You come in with a proven winner in Julie Folks, and she's got her feet underneath her now, a little bit more on solid ground. Really, you went over 400 games. You know what you're doing. You just need to make sure that you're recenter for a different level of basketball. And I think the Thundering Herd off to a great start in the WNIT. So we'll get those texts in, and we'll do that again in a few minutes. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. You can also find me on X at Paul Swann, the poll question of the day. And it's good until the next 40 minutes. We're kind of doing a short run on this one. Who you got between number 17, West Virginia, or the Marshall Thundering Herd? You can respond now on X. And again, that's at Paul Swann. Also, you can text the program 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We've got baseball to talk about. Also, we're going to hear a few comments from Marshall football coach Tony Gibson. That's coming up, as well as some player interviews. All of that on today's edition of Your Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Stuck in a state of falling behind, struggling to keep up with kids, finances, insurance, and life? Well, let your State Farm agent help you simplify and get to a better state. With State Farm handling your auto, home, and life insurance, you'll have more time to handle everything else. More money, too. Adding State Farm policies can earn discounts that could add up to 40%. Help you get ahead. Call an agent today and get to a better state with State Farm. In Huntington, John Garden, 304-525-1116. And in Barbersville, Marcia Slater, 304-736-6100.
Cold weather's on its way. And what do you want on those cold, chilly evenings? A warm blanket and a hot cup of cocoa. Well, you know who else wants the same comfort? Mice. Messy, uninvited guests. They sneak in and leave droppings, chew through your food and packages. Don't let mice take over your home this fall and winter. Call K&B Pest Control. We will kill for your business. Call today, 304-523-4281.
In honor of all those we've lost to cancer and those still fighting and thriving, like basketball analyst and cancer champion Dick Vitale.
I want to beat cancer. I'm going to beat it. That's no doubt in my mind. I'm going to win this battle.
Defeating cancer will take all of us. Join our team to help fund game-changing research that saves lives. At the V Foundation, V is for victory over cancer. V is for victory over the odds. V is for victory over health disparities, victory over setbacks, victory over the unknown. V is for victory over giving up.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Join the V Foundation team and help save lives.
Cancer can take away all my physical abilities. It cannot touch my mind, it cannot touch my heart, and it cannot touch my soul.
Join our team in the fight against cancer at V.org.
Hi, this is Dave Wilson, host of Metro News Talk Line, and you're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Thank you, Dave. Don't forget, Metro News Talk Line coming up tomorrow, 10:06, right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. We're going to get back to our text line in just a minute, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Also, our question of the day on X. You can find me at Paul Swann. Real simple. Who you got? Number 17, WVU at Marshall. That game's coming up. We're going to have the broadcast beginning at 5:50 right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Ben Westfall is going to have all the action for you, and he joins us now on the program. It's always fun when Marshall and WVU get together, no matter the sport. It just happens to be baseball. Ben, I don't know what you did, but you dialed up a really pretty day today.
Hey, I did nothing. So, but I mean, it's a beautiful day for baseball, and I mean, what better day to have beautiful weather than for today's game, Marshall, West Virginia, in-state rivalry. I mean, every single time these two face off in any sport, you're going to have good crowd, good environment, and hopefully a good game as well.
What do you see from WVU as they come in? Thundering Herd, of course, has done well so far in Sun Belt play. For WVU, this is going to be obviously a nice midweek challenge outside of league action. These two teams get together. You can throw all of that out, but what do you see from WVU?
They got a good hitting squad this year. They're really well coached. Obviously, second-year head coach for West Virginia, but, I mean, Steve Savins has done a great job with this team so far this year, and obviously they're one of the tops of the Big 12 going forward right now. Got the sweep against BYU this past weekend. Really looked really well in that series against BYU at home. Of course, you know, they're just a couple weeks into Big 12 play, 5-1 in conference. Their hitting core is really good. Gavin Kelly has looked phenomenal. Same with Matthew Graveline. Armani Guzman, you know, really has done well against Marshall every single season that he's gone against the Herd. So it'll be interesting to see what WVU does. David Hagan gets the start for the Mountaineers today. That's just a little teaser for the pregame show. Talk about that whenever we go over the starting lineups, you know, about half an hour later. But we'll see how that goes. And obviously Marshall's bullpen a little bit weaker this season. Really has shown some flashes, but could still be better. We'll see how that goes for tonight's game.
I was going to ask you, what have you seen from this Thundering Herd team at this point? And of course, the good news is Marshall is off and running. Very, very impressive start in league play. So I'm hoping that continues, especially after this one tonight. But what have you seen so far that's gotten Marshall off to that good start in league action?
Marshall's got a lot of good hitters, and this is the team. We got the chance, me and Bobby Iddings, yesterday on the call on ESPN Plus for Marshall women's basketball. We got a chance to talk with Greg Beals. You know, he talked about they're not like a big home run hitting team this season, but they know how to put the ball in play. Evan Batone's been fantastic. Jackson Halter's taken a big step. Same with Tyler Kamer. Cooper Henson from his freshman to sophomore campaign. I mean, he's been huge in the lineup for Marshall, and obviously you have 3 quality catchers that you could plug and play at any point. Will Guba obviously has a lot of developing to do, a young freshman, but Jackson Golden stepping up from his freshman to sophomore year. You get the transfer from Texas. Oliver Service, who's played really well, not only as a catcher but as a DH. So Marshall's got a lot of hitting opportunities this season. They got a lot of quality pieces hitting-wise, and obviously we know they're weekend starters with Blevins, Collins, and Drew Harlow. Obviously still waiting to see if Griffin Miller can come back at any point this season, but we know what those weekend starters could do. It's just all about the bullpen. See what those guys can provide and clean things up a little bit on the mound.
What's the vibe going into this one? Of course, it's Marshall WVU. The fans always get excited about it. At least the Huntington version of this game is always exciting for the fans. You know, what are you hearing from the players? What are they saying? Trying to just downplay this another game, or is there a little extra buzz?
Maybe a little extra buzz. Obviously, when you have a top 25, heck, top 20 team coming into town, I mean, that's big. No matter who the team is, it just adds a little flair when it's your in-state rival that you play 3 times this season. But obviously, the fans are going to be excited about this one. And obviously, there's already excitement because you have 2 rivalry games going on. You have Marshall and Miami in softball right now, which Marshall's winning that one 5-1 at the bottom of the 5th, and that's a really good Miami team in softball. So you got that game going on. You got this one going on between Marshall and West Virginia. I mean, what's there not to love? I mean, this is really just a great atmosphere. Fans are going to pack this place out. There's no doubt about that. I mean, it's going to be a packed house tonight.
This is one of those weekend type atmospheres on a weekday, right? You got softball going on now, then those fans are going to obviously work their way over to baseball after softball's done. And, of course, you have rivals on both mounds today from Miami. It's always fun to beat the Red Hawks if you're a Herd fan. Of course, WVU, top 25 team coming in, number 17. It's WVU. This is a great series. They play one more time in Morgantown. They're going to play one time in Charleston. And, of course, we're going to be there as well for that Charleston game. So if you can't make it, we'll have the call right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. So this is really one of those, hey, this should be a Saturday. This should be me spending my Saturday out there. But, okay, we'll call off work and go see a little softball and baseball.
Yeah, and, I mean, it's perfect day to call off work. And, not the warmest day, but still sunny skies. Come out and watch both Marshall Diamond sports out here, baseball and softball, and 2 rivalries that I know, longtime Marshall fans obviously know Marshall, West Virginia, but obviously the days back in the MAC with Marshall softball and Miami of Ohio in any sport as well. But, I mean, it's a perfect day to watch 2 rivalry games. Why not?
Our guest is Ben Westfall. He's going to have the call tonight. It's Marshall WVU. We go on the air at 5:50. Can you listen to all the action maybe on your way home if you're getting off work late, or if you're heading down to the game, you can follow along early. So we'll have all the Saturday home games and, of course, this one and the WVU game in Charleston as well, right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Well, I've got you, of course, yesterday, the Herd getting the win over UMBC 66-53. What'd you like about the Herd's victory?
You could obviously tell that Marshall hadn't played a game for 17 days, and Julie Folks talked about it. Take practices a little bit lighter, just 5-on-5 type of scrimmages for the Herd, that 17-day period. And obviously, it's that question mark of if you're even going to get a postseason berth or want to play postseason. And we talked about it over the broadcast on the ESPN Plus broadcast. It's like if you would have asked the players immediately after that loss to South Alabama, they probably would have said no to any postseason. Just let the season be over and end on that stinger. But Julie Folks gave him some time to get away, take some alone time to figure things out. And obviously the players came together and said, hey, we want to play one more. We want to play some more basketball. And they came out. It took them a second to get back up to game speed, but you saw that second half Marshall really got things rolling. Tamaya Lusutsi was able to do her thing and really attack the basket. That opened up some three-point shots as well, and just everybody else. And Marshall was able to defend well as well. UMBC was a really good team, is a really good team. We knew about them coming in defensively that they're just going to be up in your face, and they did well against the Ohio Bobcats in their first round of the WNIT. So we knew what Marshall was going to be facing with the Retrievers, and Thundering Herd just met the match and was able to adjust going into that second half. The adjustments that they made really worked out to get that win.
Next up for the Thundering Herd, it's either going to be, and this is my personal choice in this, it's going to be Youngstown State or Maryland Eastern Shore. I'm going to hope for Youngstown State only because there are probably better storylines there between Marshall and the Penguins. And you'll have the call if it's a home game alongside of Bobby Iddings, and that'll be on ESPN+. You're a busy guy, Ben. You're all over the place. You got baseball tonight, hopefully some basketball in a couple of days. We got baseball coming up again soon, so you're all over the place.
Yeah, fifth game in 5 days, Paul. So had Marshall softball this past weekend for 3 days, Friday through Sunday. Had basketball yesterday and baseball today. What's there not to love with this job, right?
What are you going to do tomorrow? What do you have tomorrow? Anything?
Just a little side job. That's it. Yeah.
All right, side action it is. Ben Westfall's with us. He'll be with us in about 20 minutes, give or take, and we will listen to his call as the Herd takes on the Mountaineers. Ben, look forward to your call today, and we'll talk to you soon.
Hey, absolutely. Appreciate it, Paul.
There you have it. Ben Westfall is going to have all the action. That's coming up at 5:50 right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. We're going to hear comments from head coach Tony Gibson as we get closer to the spring game, media availability earlier today. We'll also hear from a couple of players as well, and we'll hear from you. Our text line 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Also, I've got the poll question of the day up on our X account. You can find me at Paul Swann. And it is real simple. Who you got between Marshall and West Virginia in this game coming up tonight at 6 o'clock? You can vote now. Follow me on X at Paul Swann. More coming up, including your text on today's edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
At Poca Valley Bank, a handshake can still mean the start of a great relationship. We've been greeting customers with a handshake since 1908. Why settle for less? If you're purchasing your first home or planning for your future, Poca Valley Bank is here to support you with personalized service and local expertise. They are your trusted advisors. Why settle for less when you can experience banking with a team that truly cares? Poca Valley Bank, where relationships matter. Visit PocaValleyBank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Looking for midweek fun? Head to Frank's Place, where every night's a party. Wednesdays are full of brains and brews with trivia night. Grab your crew and show off what you know. Thursdays, crank it up with Singo Bingo. Music meets bingo for prizes and laughs. Then Fridays, we hand you the mic for karaoke night. Sing your heart out and start your weekend right. The fun never stops at Frank's Place. Great drinks, great friends, and good times. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
Turn your tax refund into a new kitchen with Menards. Make this the year you check that project off the list. Renovate your space with new cabinets from Cardell. They're ready to install and come in a variety of styles and finishes with free shipping to your home. Visit our kitchen showrooms in-store or go to Menards.com for free estimates today. Plus, check out our weekly flyer for all of our hot deals going on now.
Save big money at Menards.
No matter where you are in life, Mount West Community and Technical College isn't just about an education. It's a step toward your future. We provide the hands-on support you need with classes that fit your life. At Mount West, we know you by name because here, you're more than just a number. Mount West Community and Technical College, because you matter here. Visit mctc.edu to apply today.
For the safety of students, families, and teachers, schools across our country are closing.
School closures can have significant and lasting consequences, particularly for vulnerable students who may face hunger, homelessness, and even trauma.
That's where our organization, Communities in Schools, can help. For years, we've had caring adults inside schools helping these students stay in school.
Now, we are taking our work beyond the school walls. Our caring adults are delivering meals, providing household supplies, connecting kids with online classrooms, and using technology to maintain the one-on-one relationships we know can transform the lives of students and their families.
Communities and schools, going wherever we are needed, doing whatever it takes to empower students to succeed in school and in life.
To see how you can help kids succeed, visit communitiesandschools.org.
My dad, he's a double amputee, and he's one of my favorite people in the world. To me, a hero is someone who fights for our country and freedom. My dad is a hero. Homes for Our Troops built this house, and it's basically made for him. My dad can get through the wide doorways. When he is making our lunch, he can reach anything we need. He'll help me build tiny projects. Life is good here. Without Homes for Our Troops, we'd be living in a home that didn't have all these features that helped him.
Homes for Our Troops builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans and enables them to rebuild their lives.
If they get a new house like this one, it'll help them do normal life. My dad's not just a hero, he's my hero.
Join our mission at hfotusa.org.
Listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
We continue on with this Tuesday edition of Your Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Our text line this hour brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop at 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We've got Marshall WVU coming up tonight. We go off the air a little early so we can move aside and bring you all the action from Jack Cook Field. And that's going to be a 5:50 airtime. And, of course, you've got plenty of time to respond to our poll question on X at Paul Swann. And while you're there, you can give me a follow as well. Who you got tonight? Who you taking, Marshall or WVU? And, of course, our text line as well is open, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Texter says, I'm taking the Herd all the way. Appreciate the text. You can get your text in as well. And, of course, with baseball and softball going on, we have got a few weeks until football spring game time is here. And we've got comments today from head coach Tony Gibson. It's been a couple of weeks. The Thundering Herd had a little time off, but back at it now. And that's where we begin with Coach Gibson talking a little bit about what's been happening the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think, right now we're coming back off a break. Some good and some bad today. We put them in some different situations to see how they would react to it. But happy with where we're at. I mean, we got, we're an older team. We're more mature than we were a year ago. Our discipline's a lot better. So, we just have to keep building on it. We have to keep stacking days and getting better.
How good is that break for the guys? About every year this time of year, you think about how that kind of helped them get momentum going forward?
Yeah, it was. We had a really spirited practice before spring break, and these guys have been working hard. They've been after it since the beginning of January, and it was time for them to get away from us and us to get away from them and just reflect a little bit and kind of get together as a staff and see what we need to improve on moving forward. And we've done all that, and I thought today was a great great day to get back out here. Weather was great. Kids practiced hard. So, happy with where we're at.
I asked you to go back a couple of weeks with Pro Day, just what it was like to see some of those guys come back and how you thought they did and their efforts and everything.
Yeah, I thought Pro Day went really well. We had some guys that helped themselves for sure. I think we had around 17, 18 franchises here to watch our guys. So, proud of those guys. And there's going to be a couple that make it into camp, and then from there they have to make the roster. So, but I have confidence in them, and they're going to represent Marshall the right way.
I guess if you broke down each phase with the offense, the defense, special teams, what are maybe the biggest strides or any points of improvement you've seen out of it so far?
Yeah, I think right now, I think our quarterback play is at a high level. We have 3 guys right now competing. with Khalil and Carlos and Zion. I think all three of those guys are doing a great job. Wideout group is much improved from a year ago. We have a lot more depth. Our offensive line, we have some guys out right now, and so it's good to get some of the young guys reps. On the defensive side of the ball, just trying to figure out up front. We have a lot of guys competing for spots. Our linebacker core is solid. DB's a lot more depth, so I'm excited about that. And then our specialists, we have all new specialists. We lost all those guys in the portal, and our guys are doing a great job. And Coach White, I have confidence that he'll have them right.
Comments from head coach Tony Gibson as Marshall spring game is fast approaching. We got a few player interviews as well from earlier today. Let's start with linebacker Cannon Lewis, and he starts about talking about how so far the spring has been.
It's been awesome so far, learning this new defense. Everyone's been picking it up. It hasn't been as much of a learning curve as I expected, but we got a lot of new guys in here, but still the same general core of guys. And we've been able to play fast and do our job so far.
Is it cool to see Coach Lambert come back? Like, I know for you as a local guy, maybe some of those teams you watched growing up with him involved and all of that stuff, to be a part of it now.
Yeah, absolutely. I love Coach Lambert. I actually live in Coach Lambert's old house, apparently. I didn't know that until he got here and he told me. But, yeah, the first house he lived in, I'm living in it right now with my friends. But, I love Coach Lambert.
You just talked maybe the difference between last year and this year in terms of the install. I'm sure having some guys back and everything has probably made it a lot smoother yet.
Yeah, it's been a lot smoother because we haven't been starting from scratch. Like I said, we know a lot of the guys. We played with one another. We know how each other works. And so just adding a few pieces to it, it's been a lot easier for them to just build on to what we already had instead of starting from the ground up.
The defense adds a few pieces, but with the backers and everything, just you talk about your group and how you guys are coming together to start out for everything.
Yeah, it's been awesome. We got, like I said, still a lot of returners in our room. We're all super tight. This is the closest room I've ever been a part of. We love going around it, going in meetings. It ain't that bad. We all get along together. We got to eat a lot, but we have a really good room.
When you think about Coach Lambert and how he approaches things and Coach Gibby, it kind of feels like the two are pretty, match made for each other in a way, right? Does it feel like even though you're installing new stuff that there's a lot of the same identity to it in a way?
Yeah, absolutely. Our identity is still the exact same as it was last year. Coach Lambert preaches the same things, the toughness, the effort, the run of the ball. The details of everything are similar, even though the names of the schemes and the coverages and everything are changing generally. We're still playing the same brand of football.
Maybe what's the biggest point of improvement you've made in your game and something that you're looking forward to as you keep going here the last few weeks?
Probably adjusting to the speed of the game. Last year was my first year actually playing a whole lot of college football, and so seeing how offenses operate and the speed at which they do and being able to adjust to it and get everybody lined up, I'd say that's what I've tried to work on the most.
That's Cannon Lewis, linebacker for the Thundering Herd. Let's switch over to the tight end position. We got Toby Payne. Same question was asked to him. Just talk a little bit about how spring has been these last few weeks.
I think it's been going great. We have a lot of returning guys, I think, I think maybe the most returning in the Sun Belt. So it's good to see a lot of familiar faces that played a lot last year, contributed a lot. So it's been great so far.
How good was it for you, I guess, motivating to return and everything? You have so many weapons and so many guys coming back to kind of set a foundation here, right?
Yeah, I think everybody knew what we missed out on last year. We got a nasty taste in our mouth, and I think everybody agrees that we could have won more games than we did last year. So,
how much smoother has it been this year to have, a good core group of guys? Because you were kind of that on your own a bit last year, but now you have a whole good group of it. Yeah. Systems are in place and all that, right?
Yeah, it's night and day difference from last spring to last spring. I mean, everything's so much smoother. We're way ahead than what we were last spring. It feels amazing.
You talk about your position group, or just the guys up front and everything, just what you've seen out of them so far?
The guys have been going after it. Guys like Tracy, Sean, Brandon's been guys at tight end, and guys up front, Slappy, and guys like that have been really stepping up and doing good.
How's the offense, just kind of felt, I guess, when you're running through it a little bit with some of the newer guys, but really you have so much coming back that it probably feels great, right?
Yeah, it's just filling spots, really. I mean, the guys are picking up very smoothly, and it's been good.
Biggest point of improvement for you, I guess, from last year to this year, and what you're hoping for moving forward and all that stuff?
Yeah, so I'm hoping to be a better blocker this year. I feel like my run game was off last year, so we'll go fix that this spring.
Actually, one more a couple weeks ago, but with Pro Day and everything, some guys come back. How cool was it to see those guys, and how exciting is it maybe for you to, like, looking forward and seeing yourself in that?
Yeah, so it's good to see everybody back in the locker room out and dabbing everybody up. So it's good to see. They were giving me some insiders, some tips and stuff, so that's nice. So
there you have it. That is Toby Payne from the tight end side. We go to the defensive end side, and Kelvin McBride, his comments about how the spring has been going so far.
The first few weeks has been pretty good. We learning new stuff every day, just trying to get better as a group, with guys transferring in like me, getting to know each other, just trying to get better each day.
When it comes to coming in, like, I know you had the connections, but maybe what drew you to Marshall and everything?
Like you said, just the connections, familiar faces, knowing like that I can come here and, have somebody that actually knows my game and respects me.
How exciting is that for you that you kind of know coming in that you're going to fit into the system, you're going to learn how they operate and everything, but at the end of the day, it's kind of probably takes a little bit of a load off of it a little bit, right?
It was pretty exciting. Marshall was like one of the only schools to reach out to me when I got in the portal. Just knowing that they have enough trust in me to be able to just come talk to me and want me here.
Can you talk about Coach Lambert, what he brings to the table, what you've seen out of him as he comes in and everything?
Coach Lambert brings a lot to the table. Good coach, number of respect for him. I'm ready to get into the season, to see what this defense does.
I asked you about, having a break last week. Just what does that give you guys, whether it be like the mental break or anything else to get back in?
It's definitely a mental break, give our bodies a rest. Still working, spring can't get out of shape. So it's definitely a mental break, just recovery.
I guess what thing maybe excites you the most about defensive side of the ball so far that you've seen in early practice?
I'll say the energy and want to. Definitely energy and want to. Everybody wants to be out here. Everybody wants to make plays. I definitely think we have a chance to compete for the conference and even, FBS playoffs. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, appreciate it.
And we have one more from today's media availability. From the defensive side, we go to the offensive side. And we've got comments from wide receiver Adrian Norton. And again, standard stuff, starting out with just how spring has gone so far.
Progress is the first word, first and foremost. Just building upon the things that we had established last year and returning a lot of the core guys. I mean, it's become like we've just gotten better, like leaps and bounds.
When it comes to setting that foundation of guys that is going to come back and they're going to set, things up for the future, just how good is it to have such a wide group, whether it be, Carlos, guys on the line, on the defense and everything else, to where it's probably more momentum this time of year, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and on top of that, we're bringing back a lot of guys that were here last year and making plays, and we're going to the portal, bringing in guys that have made plays and are going to make plays for us this upcoming season too. So it's really exciting. Everybody's getting around, getting after. We're flying around, just getting better.
You talk about the receiver group. Coach was saying earlier that he feels like you guys are much improved in everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just what have you seen out of it so far?
I mean, we got a wide variety of skill sets. If you go down the line between each and every receiver in that room, I mean, there's guys that just have amazing skill sets and just good ball players. I mean, it really makes it hard to get everybody out there, because only 2 to 3 guys can be out there at one time. So it gets real difficult. But in the aspect of talented ball players, we got those.
Is it exciting for you to know that, you have like that arsenal of skill sets, like you're saying, where you could put guys in certain spots and certain positions? And all?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Because in situations where, God forbid, one of us is to go down, we have the same amount of confidence in the next guy that's supposed to come up. So either way it goes, we're pretty set.
You speak to connection with the quarterbacks. How good is it to not only have Carlos but Zion back, and then maybe Khalil? What you've seen out of him?
Yeah, for sure. Especially with the way the portal works nowadays. It's new faces and things like that. But the good thing about it is we got 2 guys returning, and Khalil, when he first came here, I made it like a personal mission of mine to make sure I get to know this guy and see what he's about, and just welcome him aboard to all the stuff we got here in Huntington. Man, he's been great for sure.
Has that kind of been like a role that you've taken on? I think I noticed you a couple times at basketball games and everything of kind of getting to know everybody as they come in and being a leader in that sort of way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I mean, because these are my herd brothers. I mean, this is the epitome of family, and that's something that I stand on. Like, that's one of my core values, and it's one of our core values here. I mean, like, you see the family, and it's not even just this football team. It's this town. It's with athletics, students, alumni alike. It doesn't really matter. It's the family aspect of it. Yeah.
One more, just in terms of your game, from the end of last season to now, maybe the biggest improvement that you've made, and maybe something that you're looking forward to as you keep going through the rest of it.
Man, I mean, I'm just looking forward to tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just taking it one day at a time and just being the same guy every single day. Consistency has been a huge emphatic point for this offseason going into the next season, is being consistent, continuing to dominate play after play, just having that same killer mindset every single play.
Sure. Thank you.
Sure.
All right, Adrian Norton, his comments from earlier today at Jones C. Edwards Stadium. And, of course, we will have more on Marshall football next week as we get closer to the spring game. Of course, our text line, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Texter wants to know why they're playing softball and baseball so close together. Well, you take the games when you can, and, of course, this is a midweek game for the Herd and for WVU, and, of course, softball the same. And I think they're spaced well enough. You'll get a nice little crossover crowd from softball heading over to baseball, so it should be fine. We've got a poll running on X. You can find me there at Paul Swann, and if you aren't already, I'd appreciate a follow. I asked a simple question, just wanted to know who you got in this one between Marshall and WVU. And, of course, I'm pretty sure that the audience for me today is a little biased, as we've got 100% on WVU not winning this game. Everyone's picking Thundering Herd so far. And, of course, we do have softball going on at Marshall right now. At the dot, it is the Herd 5, the Redhawks 2. We're in the bottom of the 6th. And, again, the Herd 5, Redhawks 2. Just a reminder, if you're joining us, we will have baseball coming up in the next few minutes. The Thundering Herd playing host to the West Virginia Mountaineers. Ben Westfall is going to have all the play-by-play action, and you can listen to that right here on your drive home or wherever you're at here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Also, you can listen on our app. Just head to our website if you don't have the app already. It's WRVC.com. We've got the links already there. It'll make it easier for you. It'll take you right there to the store if you've got an Android or if you've got an iPhone. The link is there. Head over to the website now, WRVC.com. That's going to do it for me. Ben Westfall is coming up next. He'll have all the action between Marshall and WVU. I'll talk to you tomorrow here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.